Welcome to this live video. If you are an online teacher interested in teaching kids, you are in the right place today because we're going to talk about Koala and Koala Go. And this is a really fun platform and Zoom alternative for teaching kids. We'll do a live demo and meet one of the founders of it. So I'm going to invite him on.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone.
Would
Hey,
you like to
Jamie.
introduce yourself?
For sure, for sure. Thank you for having me, Jamie. So, my name is Xavier, and I'm the one of the co-founders of Koala Go. Hello, everyone.
And let us know where you are watching from. This is a time that both of us don't normally go live at, so we were just curious where you are in the world. And if you're catching the replay, you can also leave a comment and let us know where you're watching from. And if you don't know me, if you haven't met me before, I'm Jamie from ESL Teacher 365, and I help people teach online and abroad. Okay. Oh, we've got Cancun, Mexico. I'd like to
Woohoo.
be there right now. That sounds nice.
I know.
Excellent. Well, let's just get started. What is Koala? So, can you tell us, Xavier, a little bit about it? What is it, and how did you come up with it?
Absolutely. Yeah, so Koala is we built Koala because we think that Zoom is a great tool for adults to talk with each other in an enterprise environment. And actually, I use Zoom a lot to for meetings, etc. We just don't think is the right tool for an 8-year-old to learn English and to get engaged. So that's why we built Koala, and we'll show you today that we incorporated a lot of interactive features and engaging features and gamification features to get your students really engaged when you teach them online, and they will have fun and you will have fun too.
Definitely. I think that's a huge buzzword right now, the gamification and just making lessons more interactive for kids. The first time I taught kids on Zoom, I didn't really know how to use all the settings yet. And so they got control of the whiteboard and were like, going crazy with it. And it wasn't what I was looking for. So something like Koala is really interesting where they can kind of control different worksheets or curriculum, websites and activities. And it just really helps them focus better than being distracted by what's going on at home. And what would you say? What are some other things that make Koala a little bit different from other platforms?
Yeah, so besides the different gamification and the interactive piece, which I will demo, I think if there's one takeaway, one main difference between Koala and the rest is that we are really here for you, and you actually will find that you have a 24/7 live support in Koala Go when you use it. So Koala is a small team. We're just 10 people, but we are all over the world, and therefore, whenever you need our help, you can contact us via the chat at the bottom right, and you'll always have somebody from the Koala team present live, happy to jump in your classroom to help you or troubleshoot. So I think this is the most important takeaway, if there is one.
Yeah, definitely. I think that for independent online teachers, you could potentially be teaching at all different times. It just depends on your time zone and your students. So to have that support is really important. And, tech issues happen all the time. And it's nice to know that you have someone in your corner. So then the student doesn't get, flustered and the families don't get angry with you. You have that support that you need. Awesome.
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges of teaching kids online and some of the solutions. So, I guess I can share kind of my point of view as an online teacher. I know you teach online as well. And what are some of the solutions that Koala has come up with? So, I guess probably the main thing is all right, I have this worksheet or this activity. How can I make that engaging? How can I have my students take part in this rather than just screen sharing it and having them read it, I guess. So what do you think? How can Koala help with that?
Yeah. So maybe we'll cover that during the demo, but we have an interactive whiteboard that allows you to upload that worksheet, and where both you and your student can add texts. You can either just type text, or we have something called the vanishing pen that allows you to draw and then it goes away. So you can underline, you can highlight words, you can underline, and then the line goes away after a few seconds. You'll see that in Koala Go you have a lot of what we call reward tools like confettis and gems and stars. So you should feel free, of course, to use that. Um, yeah, I think maybe the demo will speak more than words, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that reward systems are really popular for a lot of the online platforms, even if you're not an independent teacher. So, if you're moving from one of those platforms but wanting to go independent, maybe you liked some of those features from your platform. This is a nice kind of step away to where you have a bit more control over your teaching and everything, but you still have some of those features that you enjoyed from the other platforms. Well, I think we should just get into the demo because, yeah, like you said, it's
Yeah,
really going to kind of speak for itself. So I'll have you share your screen with us and then we'll take a look.
sounds good.
And for
So
anyone that is joining us, feel free to leave any questions. We'll get to the questions at the end. So as you're watching, if something comes up, then just let us know.
yeah, and feel free to interrupt me at any time, Jamie, if because
Sure.
I will not see the questions as I'm screen
Yeah,
sharing.
no worries. I'll keep those monitored.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm going to share this, and yeah, so the step one is simply to come to our website, which is teachwithkoala.com. Jamie, would you mind posting that in the comments?
Sure, I will.
So teachwithkoala.com is the starting point, and it's our website, and you'll simply are going to click on Open Koala Go. And if you're watching live or not, I encourage you to follow those steps as I'm showing them. The first thing that you will see is this little login, sign in, sign up menu, which gives you two options. You can type an email or you can continue with Google. The
Did you
fast.
open another browser? Because we can only see the first screen.
You can only see, oh, yes, sorry about that. I need to stop sharing this tab
Share another
and share
window.
a new tab. Yes, thank you.
No worries.
And there you go. So once you click on Open Koala Go, it will give you an option to sign in, and you can sign in using Google, or you can just type an email. And once you've done that, that's it. You're done. You're in Koala Go. And you'll probably see something that says, "Welcome to Koala Go." So here's, you're in Koala Go, and it's very easy to log in or to sign up, as you just saw. Now, at a high level, Koala Go has three main building blocks. The first one is the whiteboard. The second one is the co-browser. And the third one is Playground. Whiteboard, co-browser, Playground. So we'll cover all three of them during this demo. So right now I'm in the whiteboard, and it's pretty similar to other tools out there. You have access to a few icons at the bottom, cursor, drawing, sticky notes, text box, and then a contextual menu here on the left. So let's start with the cursor. The cursor allows me to move things around. And you'll see that once your student joins, they will have also access to those same four tools at the bottom. They can move things around unless you disable the interaction with them.
Yeah, so that's an important note. So, for example, you can be controlling things and then let your student control things, but maybe you're doing another part of the lesson and you don't want them to have that access. So, you can kind of turn that off and turn it on.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, and that makes me think, so this is great. I'm in a whiteboard, but right now there's no students. So maybe for those of us who are here in the live chats, could you take a guess on how I invite a student to my classroom? What
Mm.
what button should I click on?
So, what do you think? So, let us know in the comments. How do you think you invite a student?
And I'm sure you guessed it. You click on invite students in the top left. So
Excellent.
do that, and once you do click on this button, you have this pop-up that says share this link with your student. So this is important. You will get a link here. This is your unique student invite link, meaning no one else has the same link as you. And this link is the link that you send to all of your students. They all use the same link. And to copy it, you can just click here. If your student is in China, I encourage you to check here, and then it will give you a slightly different link. It's okay if you forget, if you use this link with your students in China, it will still work, but this will be more optimized. We use servers that are closer to China, and therefore you get a lower latency. But right now I'm just going to use this one. That's it. And you can see I'm on the left here. And as soon as my student join, I'm going to get a pop-up in the bottom right. I can accept, and they will show up right here. Their video will show up right here under mine. Jamie,
Excellent.
do you
So
have any
that link,
questions so far?
yeah, so that link we can basically, however you're doing your onboarding with your students, if you have reminder emails or if
Right.
you're using chat to talk to them before their lessons, that's what you're going to send them to
Exactly.
to sign up. Yeah. So it's not like
Yeah,
they have to download anything. They just simply click that link.
exactly. Exactly. And if
All
when they
right.
click that link, all they have to say is join, and they have a small game that keeps them patient. But then as soon as you let them in, they will show up here.
That's another very important thing for kids. Always have a
Yes,
game to keep them a little bit, interested.
absolutely. Absolutely. Even for us adults.
That's true. That's true. So tell us a bit about the co-browser because this is a
Yeah,
good feature too.
yeah, absolutely. So the co-browser is, you open the co-browser by clicking on this little icon right here. And you may not know what a co-browser is. A co-browser is a browser that lives in the cloud. Sorry about that. It's a browser that lives in the cloud that you and your student will have access to. So as you can see here, I have several tabs, and right now I'm on wordwall.net. So you and your student can, by the way, can change the URL here and then click on start. And you can interact with this, and your student can also interact with this at the same time. It's fully interactive. Even if they're on Chromebook, iPad, they can drag and drop those letter tiles on this website.
Yeah, I think that's a huge plus because a lot of times our students are accessing things on tablets these days and Chromebooks, and some of the other platforms have big issues with compatibility and things don't show up. So that's something to keep in mind if you are teaching online independently is, it's harder to kind of control what people are using and everything. So that's a
Yeah,
nice thing that you don't have to worry about.
yeah. And Jamie, what are the websites that you usually use with your students for online games?
Oh, let's see. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I do a lot of like Cambridge tutoring. So we do, for
Okay.
example, some of the different test parts of it and activities kind of related to that. But yeah, Wordwall is a really good one for kids. Yeah,
Nice. Cambridge
definitely.
Tutoring, and do they have a website, Cambridge Tutoring?
There's a few different ones that it's
Got it.
mostly just like to look at exams and things like that. Yeah, different
Okay.
activities.
Okay. So, but for you out there, if you teach ESL using Genially slides, for instance, this is a really great fit. I think I may have a couple examples here. Um, but anything on Genially is great. Anything that's in the web, Wordwall, Boom Cards, even
Even
YouTube.
things like Quizlet, Kahoot, those
Yeah,
kinds of
exactly.
things. Yeah.
Exactly. So just open a new tab, navigate to that website, log in, and this co-browser will remember your credentials. So next time,
Hmm.
tomorrow when you come back, you won't have to log in again.
That's nice.
Um, there's a reward system that was also in Whiteboard, and maybe I'll go back to Whiteboard a little bit. But you have confettis, you have stars, you have a dice also if you're playing a board game,
Hmm.
and you have gems. I don't have any student right now in my classroom, but it allows you to give gems, and I'll cover later what gems are for.
Yeah. Excellent.
So to close the co-browser, just click on the X in the top right, and it will send you back to the whiteboard.
Okay.
So, all right. So you're now an expert in the co-browser. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the whiteboard because most of the features are here. So I showed you the cursor. The cursor allows you to move things around. The second thing is the drawing. So you can draw, obviously, or write using this pencil. Here on the left, you can change the color. You can change the thickness. You can also choose, on the left, you have the solid colors. On the right, you have the highlighter. So if you want to highlight something, you can just do this. You can always undo by clicking right here. Here you have what I was mentioning before, the vanishing pen,
Hmm.
which allows you to draw, and then it goes away after a few seconds. So
Yeah.
this is quite useful for live classes. You can say, hey, what is this word? And then it goes away. And then
So
finally,
if
you
you
have an
were to
eraser.
use a worksheet and you wanted to have the kids, circle things, would you use
Yeah.
the co-browser for that, or would you use the whiteboard? What would be the best way
Yeah,
to
that's a very
access
good
that?
question. So you could use both actually. The co-browser, let's say the worksheet is a PDF that is stored in Google Drive. You can just
Right.
open the co-browser, click here, open the co-browser, and then log into your Google Drive and find that worksheet. And your student will see that and you can interact with it. The other option is for you to upload that file to Whiteboard. So you can just click here on Upload Files, drag and drop the PDF, and then it will just get added to your to this whiteboard. I'm not sure, Jamie, do you see the pop-up that shows up when I click on Upload
Yes.
File? Yes, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, and let me see. And do you see also the window where I'm browsing for files?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, it just says select and upload
got it.
images.
Okay. I'm just gonna, for an example, I'm just gonna maybe choose an image. So here, when you add a document, it will ask you, do you want to add as images or add as slides?
Hmm.
So I'm going to choose add as images, and then I'm going to explain what those two things are, add as image or add as slide. So you see right now, I just added an image. You can also just drag and drop an image from your computer to here, or drag and drop the worksheets from your computer to here, and it will show up here. One thing that I did not explain yet is, you see at the top right, Teacher Sarah, Chinese character level 1. That's the
Hmm.
name of my activity.
Okay.
And this activity has 7 slides. So I can easily add a slide by clicking on plus here. And I can easily come back to the previous slide. And everything I do in Whiteboard is automatically saved into this activity.
Okay.
And if I want to change the activity, you just click here and it will give you your library of activity. And you can change by clicking on a different activity. Do you have any question, Jamie, about what I just showed?
Yeah, I think that's nice to have that kind of library of everything, especially as an independent teacher. If you're hoping to cut down on your lesson planning time, maybe you have several different classes, but you're teaching the same level, then you can
Right.
reuse that material, but you have it all organized in
Exactly.
the same space. Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of organizing activities, so if I go back to my activity library by clicking here, you can just click on the three dots at the top of the activity and duplicate it if you want.
Mhm.
So what
If you had like different students and maybe they had made comments and stuff, you could get rid of
exactly.
that.
Exactly. So what most teachers, the teachers who use Koala Go today, what most of them do is they have one activity for each student. That way you can keep track and um, you can automatically save everything, and then you finish your class with Dylan, so you were using the Dylan activity, and then Lily comes in, you accept Lily, Dylan leaves, and then you open the new activity for Lily.
Yeah. Nice and organized.
Yes. And within an activity, so right now in the activity copy of demo, I can click on slides here, and I can visualize my 5 slides. I can even reorganize them by dragging and dropping. And you could even copy a specific slide by clicking on this, one or two. Let's say I want to copy those 2 slides. I want to say copy to activity, and I want to copy those 2 slides to the direction activity. And that's how it works.
I like that. Yeah. So it's nice that you can have your activities organized in slides. Maybe you're making them in Canva or you're using some sort of curriculum. And then you can also use websites, use that code browser to complement it, or then move to a game or
Exactly.
a more productive activity. Okay.
Exactly.
Any other features of the whiteboard that we're missing that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah. So once again, and I know I mentioned it before, but if there's one thing to remember from this training is this feature. This is the live chat. So it says it's a little cute koala with a headset and a 24/7 above. So click here and say, "Hi, please, I need help." My team doesn't know that I was going to do this demo live, so we'll see, I guess, in
I'll
real
see what
time.
they say.
Yes, we'll see if they how long it takes them for them to get back to us. But in
Yeah.
general, we reply within, you know, a few seconds, just like you saw here. And you have Alina, and I'm gonna reassure her. Thank you, Alina. This is just a demo. Yeah, so you have people from our team. Just feel free to reach out to us, to ask us for training, to ask us questions on the features, to jump in your classroom, to provide a one-on-one training. We are here to serve you, teachers. So use it and abuse it.
And you also have there's like a private Facebook group for people that use Koala, is that right?
Yep, absolutely. And I can share. I don't know if you can share the link in the chat, Jamie,
Sure.
if you have it. Otherwise, I can share it after you later.
Yeah, I can always add it later on too. Awesome.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that's it. You are now experts at Whiteboard and expert at the co-browser.
So let's
And
go to playground.
right, let's go to the really fun part. So playground. Playground is we built playground because we if you look at 9-year-olds in the US today, 80% of them play Roblox.
Wow. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
It's really
insane.
crazy. Yet most of the teaching tools are really not in this format. And we think there's a lot of virtue in the format like Roblox or Minecraft to really engage kids and to also capitalize on their spatial strength and creativity. So that's why we built Playground. And I'll also say that you don't need to know Playground to teach with Koala Go. And a lot of teachers who start with Koala Go just use Whiteboard and co-browser, and they teach full, really great classes with those two building blocks. And they learn Playground later as a next step. So let's go. You open Playground by clicking on this icon with the squirrel. And let's see. Let me see if I can get rid, yes, of the chat. All right. So when you open Playground for the first time, here is what happens. You have a little avatar that falls from the sky under a little parachute, of course. And you see that if I click somewhere, my avatar runs in that direction. So try on your end. You can see I click somewhere and the avatar runs in this direction. I'm not going to cover, I'm not going to do a full Playground training, but I'm going to cover the basics. If you click on the eye at the bottom, you move to first person view, which means that I can now see the world through the eyes of my avatar rather than top-down view where you can imagine a camera looking downwards at your avatar. So I usually prefer first person view, but it's really up to you. So I'm going to go to first person view, and now you move around using the keys on your keyboard. So up, down, left, right allows you to move around. So I'm moving up, which allows my avatar to move forward. I'm turning left towards the snowman, then up to move towards the snowman.
I really like this view for, having activities, speaking activities. I can see using this with students saying, okay, describe what you see, and just getting them to interact with this world and having it be a bit more realistic and also just fun for them. It's something engaging that they can participate in.
Yeah, for language teaching, and I teach French every week using this tool. It's really great to have something so immersive because you can have real conversations that you usually only have in when you meet in person. So you can say, "Follow me, turn right, turn left, jump. What is this?" etc. So you can really have that immersive feel that you usually don't get online.
Yeah.
So the next button here is customize avatar. So you guessed it. If you click there, you can change skin tone, cheeks, lips. So go crazy. I'll let you create yourself a real avatar that you're proud of. And I can move around. I can jump by clicking on the space bar, pressing the space bar on my keyboard. So you see my avatar is jumping like this. And then you can add blocks, objects, images by clicking here. So here you have access to a lot of tools. You can add blocks. So go ahead and add one block. So add a send block here. And you can add a sticky note. So let's say I want to create a sticky note and I want to add it to this Blackboard here. I'm going to click on sticky, click here, and type hello. And ta-da, there you are.
So even if you're just kind of starting out with this and maybe you're a bit intimidated by Playground and not quite sure what to do with it, I think starting with the stickies is really nice because you can maybe have a few different verbs or words and just have your students navigate to find those words or practice reading them, or find two words that are related. There's a lot of activities you can do just with the sticky notes and this kind of immersive experience that can be really engaging for your students.
That's right. And we have some teachers that teach 100% of their classes in Playground. Let's say, so you're with your students in playground, but they're running around, they're too excited, and they are not really focusing on the
We're going
blackboard.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
going crazy. So what you can do is click on Focus Tool, and this creates this white frame that you can position anywhere. So I'm going to try to make it fit with the blackboard, and I'm going to click. And immediately it focuses all your students' screen on this blackboard. And now you can move things around. So now we can actually do some work. And until you free them by clicking here, return to free roaming. And those tools that you see here are the same as in Whiteboard. So I can actually use that option to show you those tools here. You can duplicate sticky notes. You can lock sticky notes. So you see this one is locked, I cannot move. You can make it clonable so that people, the students can just clone it. Creates like an infinite stack of hello cards. And you can even, and this is a feature that we added recently that's very popular, is you can add an audio
Oh, that's
sound.
cool.
So let's say I click here and I want to associate the sound hello. I'm going to click on add audio, and it says press mic to record audio or upload a file. So if you have an MP3 file, feel free to upload that. I'm going to record my sound by clicking here. Hello. And now that I've done this, hello. Great. It's great. I'm going to close this. And now whenever students click here, hello, as you could hear, it triggers the sound hello.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Jamie? I know that I've been really overwhelming you with a lot of information in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It's just a good tour of kind of everything. And I think the main thing is if you're new to Koala Go and you're wanting to teach kids online, have a play with it. So go to Teach with Koala. I will put that back up. .com and have a play. See what you can do with it, get nice and creative. But there are lots of resources and videos online showing how teachers use it and showing a lot of the features. But I think, like with everything, start simple, get confident with that. And, once you get used to it, it will be easier. But if you compare this to something like Zoom, you can see that it's made for kids. You have literally thought of like everything with the focus mode and letting them control the screen and everything. It is really for kids. That's what it's made for.
Yeah. And we really haven't thought of everything. We really started with an initial version of Koala Go that was lacking a lot of those important features. And then, teachers said, hey, I need a way to control my students. I need
Yeah.
I need a vanishing pen. I need a way to upload PDF. So we've been adding those features. Every 2 weeks, we try to push a new update of Koala Go with some improvements. So we really expect you to not go easy on us and let us know how we can make the product better for you.
Excellent. And do you have, I think I saw something recently about like invoicing and things like that through Koala Go. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so um, we've built some tools in Koala Go to help you invoice. It's extremely valuable for if you live in a country that doesn't where Stripe is not supported, and if your
Yeah.
students are in China. There's a way, and you go to Koala Go, you go to the top right, and you click on Send Invoice, and you can send an invoice. We'll just ask you for a few information, like typing the email address of the parent and the country that they're in. If they're in China, they'll receive a QR code that they can pay with WeChat Pay. And then we'll ask you, how do you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid to your Stripe account? Or if you don't have Stripe, do you want to get paid over Wise or PayPal? So
Hmm.
wherever you are as a teacher and wherever the parents and your customers are, we support your use case. We support every single country in the world.
Yeah, that's really important. So for people that maybe have been on platforms and are thinking about teaching independently, that means that uh, you know you need to figure out your own invoicing. You need to figure all that out. So to have something where you know that it's going to work in those countries, because that can be a bit of a struggle. Is you have to decide where you're going to focus on teaching your students, your teaching niche, and what kind of payments can they accept, can they not accept. So that is very important to know
Yeah.
for teachers that are going independent. Yeah. Excellent. Well, how can teachers get a free month of Koala Go?
Yeah, so I'll preface by saying that Koala Go has two packages. There's a free and there's a pro. The free has a lot of features. There's no limit on the time you spend in there. We won't cut you at the 40-minute mark. You can have as many students as you want, but it will not have full access to the co-browser, because the co-browser is the service that costs us a lot of money. So we have to
Mhm.
charge for it. And you have a pro plan that costs between $21 and $26 per month. But today, Jamie has access to a great offer that allows you to get 1 free month of Koala Go Pro with unlimited co-browser and all the pro features. So the link should be in the description, Jamie, is that
Yes,
right?
it'll be in the description. So if you go, there's a form that you can fill out, and then you can just select that you found out about this offer through me at ESL Teacher 365. But I definitely recommend, even if you don't have students yet, but you want to try it out, maybe if you have some nieces or nephews, just take a look and try out the pro version, try out that co-browser, and really see what it can do. Excellent. Well, let's see. So if you do end up having any questions, I don't see any in the comments, but if you do, you can always leave them down below and I will try to answer them. If I don't know, I can always send you an email, Xavier, and see what the
Yeah.
answer is. But for people who want more information, what do you think? Where's a good place to send them?
Yeah. Follow that link, go to Koala go to teachwithkoala.com, and we're here 24/7 in the chat at the bottom right, and we're really happy that we're here to serve you. So don't hesitate.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and showing
Thank
us
you, Jamie.
around. And if you're catching up on the replay, yeah, just leave any comments down below. If you're watching live, thanks for joining us. And until next time,
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everyone.
bye.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.